Welcome everyone. Hello, my name is Eleni Summershield. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at Wise Agents. Thanks for joining us today. I have the fabulous Camilla Tamu, our Customer Support Manager, with us today. And
Hello.
and there's Tamra. Hey, Tamra. Oh, I love your message. So if you could go ahead and go to the chat and just post in there what city and state and your brokerage that you're with. We always love seeing where everyone is from. Do you love seeing that, Camilla?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes.
I love to. I love to travel, and so it's always fun for me to see like where is everybody and
All the different states that everyone's coming from. Yeah.
Exactly. So this webinar is going to be a great one. Camilla and I, we've been working together for almost 7 years, right, Camilla?
Yes, it's almost been 7 years. Come
Almost
April.
7. Yes. And so we're going to talk a lot about marketing and what you should be doing in your business and how Wise Agent can help you with some of your marketing. So we have, obviously our staff here that can help you through the process, but then we're going to also give you some tips and tricks on what you can be doing in order to get all of your marketing out to your consumers for you to generate more business. So
Definitely. Yeah.
And so I see a lot of people coming in and joining us, so welcome. And I wanted to just make a note that this webinar is being recorded. If you've registered for this webinar and you are on the Zoom call with us, you will get a copy of this in your inbox as soon as the session is done. If you are watching on Facebook or on the replay there or on the replay on YouTube, go ahead and post any questions, comments, and anything in there as well, because we'll be monitoring that for you as well. I know we've got our fabulous Sarah Webb. She is at a marketing conference today, or else she would have been here, but she's learning more about what we could share with you all. And so she's still moderating, but we will be monitoring your chat in the window here, but then also there's a Q&A section where you will be able to ask any questions there as well.
Yes.
All right. So what is the YouTube link? I see some people like, hey, how do I get to that YouTube link? So our YouTube link is just go to youtube.com/wiseagent. You'll be able to see our whole channel there. And we have a playlist of all of our webinars. So they will be, Sarah and her team will be posting that as well. Oh, and she's posting the link for you as well. Okay. All right, Camilla.
Yes.
It is Tuesday morning, and this is going to be a fun one. And we're doing this specifically a lot for Ohio Association of Realtors. We just launched a great, partnership with them. We are the preferred CRM for Ohio Association of Realtors. So if you are currently, not using a CRM, or maybe you're looking for, to compare with the one that maybe you're using, or you're not using anything right now, you could go to wiseagent.com/OAR. I think Sarah will be posting that as well, and you will get your preferred pricing and all these different things as well. Ooh, we've got someone from the Bahamas, Bernadette.
Ooh.
We need to figure
get
out
together. Yeah, get over there.
Camilla and I are going to fight over who's going to the Bahamas to do training there, right? So we'll be posting things as well. Come on down, she says. Awesome. We will have to plan that with you, Bernadette. All right. So for right now, we're going to start talking about some of the marketing tools that Wise Agent has, and some of the things that agents can be leveraging from our platform in order to, generate their business. So I love seeing these messages. I keep seeing, sorry, Camilla, I'm like being distracted by Bernadette saying, come on down, and Deb is saying, awesome, it's a field trip.
Yes.
Wise Agent is magical. If you don't have it, get it. Thank you, Joy, for saying that. So Camilla, maybe you want to start us off, and a lot of the questions that we get. So a lot of so when we do these webinars, we have a series. We ask you a question. We ask you to state your question to us, and so I went through these questions, and it was like one after another was about drip campaigns and best practice, how to set that up, how they work. So maybe you can take us through how that happens, because I know you and your staff do an amazing job in supporting our members on creating these drip campaigns. So maybe you'd be best at doing the training.
Definitely. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I think it's a lot better if I can walk you guys through it, just to kind of show you all the features that we have to offer specifically with our drip campaigning feature. So for those of you who don't know what a drip campaign is or marketing program, it's basically a series of events going out to a specific group of clients over a period of time. So underneath the marketing drop down here, we have our marketing program feature. And within the platform, you're able to create your own campaign. So you're able to create it from scratch, or you can choose from any of the stock programs that we offer. So as you can see here, we have a library full of stock drip campaigns that you can choose from and that you can edit and customize. So there, it's easy to start. You just select one of the options from here. The one that I like to always showcase is our 10-day conversion plan, because I think there's a lot of different events in there that show how much you could do with Wise Agent and how you can automate your marketing through our platform.
Yeah, I love that. And I love how every time I do a webinar with somebody, even from our own team, I learn how they do things a little bit differently. And I do love the 10-day conversion plan, because that one does have like a mix of, you know, email, text, and then even a phone call. So there's like a script in there even that I'm sure you're gonna show here too.
Exactly. So with the 10-day conversion plan, you'll be able to go in here and customize the events that we already designed for you. So as you can see here, kind of like what Eleni was explaining, is that we break it up into different event types. So not only can you set it up where it's a series of emails going out, but you can incorporate a call in there. So with our calls that we already have pre-designed for you, we also include a script. So we're designing this script for you, so you don't have to come up with the content on your own. And of course, you can go in there and customize it to your liking. So everything in our platform is customizable for you when you're using those stock marketing programs. So even with the emails over here, you're able to go in here and update the images that we include in there for you. And you can even customize and include these placeholders, so it's pulling your clients and your leads information to that marketing campaign.
Yeah. You know, one thing I wanted to point out is that when you're using any of our stock marketing programs, you'll see like even here it says this is, you know, and then your name and with your
Yeah,
brokerage. You want to make sure that you're reading through these and then obviously filling in like your name and your brokerage, but then also you can change the tone. So you can change things where, you know, if you want to be a little bit more casual, if you want to be more formal, you can change this, change the color of the font of the words that are there. So you can see like where it says, I'm excited to help you find things.
yeah,
You know, that's in blue. You can change that to match your brand. You definitely want to make sure that you're staying on your brand, you're staying with your brand standards. So if maybe your colors are red and black, so maybe you want to change that to red.
yeah.
Make sure that you're doing, you know, make sure you're keeping things obviously personalized, but also according to your brand.
Exactly. And then that's another thing that we like to tell our members is that with Wise Agent, anytime you create an email, it is going to be branded with your information. So you're going to create something called an email branding, is what we call it within the platform. So it's your email signature line, which is going to be included in all of those emails that you send out through the system. It's going to include your agent photo, all of your information. And of course, you can connect that to your social media sites down here below. So it's important to keep that that company brand kind of uniform throughout all of your marketing, and Wise Agent allows you to do that directly within our platform. So yeah, so with the drip campaigns, you are able to include images in there. You can also add a video. So we do integrate with companies like Dub and BombBomb, and you're also able to even plug in a video from YouTube. So right here, you can insert a video from a YouTube clip that you recorded, and you can plug that in right here in that email that you're creating for your drip campaigns.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to point out too, Camilla, is that there's that right next to that YouTube button is the CTA button, which is the call to action. And,
Yes,
you know, that's something you definitely should have in all of your emails. You want to make sure that when you're sending out any emails that you're sending out, the recipient knows what action they should be taking next, right?
exactly.
You want to convey, you know, hey, this is what I'm good at. This is what I do for you. So now you know, is there a phone number that works? You know, is there a phone number that you can, you know, share with me so I can call you? Is there a best time to do that? And all of that information. So you want to make sure that you have either a button to send them to a link somewhere, right? Maybe to a form. We'll talk about our landing pages in a minute, or just asking them questions. So here the call to action is like, going forward, is this the best email to reach you at? Is there a phone number that works best for you? Is there a time to reach out to you? Any of those questions, those would be call to action.
Exactly. And you could easily plug that in here within your account, and you can customize, the color, hyperlink it. So even like if you have, Calendly, and if you want them to book an appointment with you, that's a great way to do it, is including that call to action button at the end of all your emails. So then you're prompting that contact, that lead, to take another action and to connect with you a lot quicker. So
Yeah.
definitely something you want to incorporate with your marketing is that CTA right here on that toolbar, that call to action option.
I love that. I love that. That's and then I wanted to talk about this top portion here with the preferred time. So this one's set at 6 a.m., which if we always talk about segmenting your audience and making sure that you're sending them the right message. So you want to make sure that you are sending the right message to the right person, but also at the right time. So maybe 6 a.m. would work for some people in your database, because by the time they get into the office or by the time they wake up in the morning, maybe it's like the first email in their list. Or maybe you want to change that to say, I know they're more like they're busy at work. This is their profession. So maybe later on in the day or in the evening would be best. So really, we give you that flexibility to accommodate you and your consumers. So you're always providing the best, your best foot forward with everything that you do through Wise Agent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then also, like, even within the campaigns, you're able to incorporate those text messages in there. So that's another great marketing piece, is to include texting with your clients. So you can automate these text messages to go out to your database. And the same thing applies to the texting feature, where you're able to go in there and choose your preferred time. So maybe you're not going to send out a text message as early as 6 a.m. Maybe you're going to do it a little bit later out in the morning, when you know that your clients are probably up and about. So again, with the text messages, you're able to even include a placeholder in there. So it is going to be personalized to that specific contact, because I know this is going to go out to multiple people, but I still want to personalize that text message. And you can even incorporate a video and an image. So again, making that personal connection through a little video clip of yourself, letting your audience get to know you a little bit better. So you can do that through our drip campaigning feature. And again, you have those options for recording a video through BombBomb or on your phone and uploading it on this page. So definitely taking advantage of that marketing piece.
Yes, love it.
Yes.
Love that.
And then,
so there was a question about because we talked about the preferred time. Camilla, would you be able to also talk a little bit about the days from start? Because there was a question about that 0 days from start. If you can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so with the drip campaigns, you're able to set a series of events to go out either on a specified date. So that's going to be a fixed date. So when you're creating the marketing program, you'll have the option to do either a fixed date or a set a drip date. So I'll just show you that over here. So you can do it by drip or by fixed date. So the 0 days from start, that just means that that event is going to go out immediately from the set start date that you put for your leads. So when you go to add a contact to a drip campaign, you'll get to select their start date. And from that start date that you select, that's when that 0 days from start will begin for a drip campaign. Whereas a fixed date, those events will go out at a specific date that you've selected. I hope that helps clarify that for you. Yes.
Yes. So yeah, that's a great way of explaining it. And then and I'll let you get to the next portion, which would be the texting portion of it.
Yes. So going back with the texting portion. So again, you can include, videos in there with those automated drip campaigns. But through the platform too, you are able to set bulk text messages to go out over, it's just to a selected group of clients. So down here under the contacts drop-down menu, we have the contact list page. So that's where all of your clients are going to live within the system, within the database there. And from this page, you can actually pull up specific filters so you can narrow down your group of clients that you want to target. So let's say that you want to send out a flyer to a group of buyers that are looking within a specific area. You can pull up that buyer category within your account over here. So you could pull up that category, click on that search option, and then the system will pull up those clients that are in that specific group. And then from here, I am able to select, all of my clients that are in this category. And then under the actions drop down here where I can perform bulk actions, I'll be able to type in text, and then it gives me the option to send a text message. It's going to let me know who has a valid text message out of the people that I've selected here. Then I'm going to proceed on to creating my text message for these clients that I've selected. So from this screen right here where it says send text, you're able to add in your customized message. You can include those placeholders here. And then this is where you can go to attach a video or an image. So again, this is where you can go to add that flyer that you think would be interesting for these buyers to look at, or even a video that you want to send to them. You're able to do that directly from this page. So you can send off those one-off text blasts directly from within the contact list page in your account as well.
Yeah, love that. And there, the thing with the texting, like you said, you're able to send out the video or an image, and then using those placeholders. So if you are selecting a big group of people, you want it to look personalized, because these are going off as one-off messages. It's not going to be those dreaded group text messages that nobody likes being in, right? And especially nobody wants to be in that with like a bunch of random strangers. So, and then you always get the replies back on your mobile device, as well as within the CRM. So you'll be able to see that within your contact records and your reports and anywhere else.
Exactly. So I can go ahead and show you that too, how you'll be able to track that within the system. So when you go to a specific client summary page is what we call it within the platform, which is the client record. So I'm going to go ahead and type in my client that I want to pull up. You'll be able to see specific notes pertaining to that client. And then there's a text log, which allows you to track those text communications back and forth between you and that client. So over here on the left-hand side of that contact summary page, we have that the navigation menu bar. So if I scroll down to the text section, that's going to provide to me the texting log. And that's going to allow me to see those text conversations that I've had with Michael. And then so I could see, what his last response was. I can also, if I wanted to click on that image or that video that I sent him here, it is going to be linked here in your texting log. So you can always reference back the content that you've sent out to your contacts and your leads through the system.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's, with text messaging, there's such a high open rate and a high response rate, that it really is a great way of communicating with your database. And so email is not dead though, and email is a great way of communicating to your clients and potential clients as well. So it's something that you want to make sure that you're mindful of when you are reaching out to people. We always tell everyone here, like obviously segmenting your audience, but then making sure that your message isn't always about buying or selling a property. It can be more than that, right, Camilla? Don't you think that it should be more than that?
Yeah. And that's why we've incorporated features within the system so you could do that. So one of the features that I always love talking to people about is our RSS feed. And with the RSS feed, you can connect different blog feeds to your Wise Agent account based on the likes and the interest of your leads. So you want to do it in a way where you know that John Doe or Michael Phelps, he loves to swim or he loves to garden. You want to add those kind of blogs to your account. That way you can easily email them out to your database. So that's this RSS feature here that we have. And that's going to be on that email contacts page, the mass emailing page within Wise Agent. So it's as easy as clicking on this edit feed option here and then plugging in that unique RSS URL email to this page. And then that's going to pull all of those blog posts into your account. So then you're able to go through here and email these out to your clients. So if I know I have a lead in my database that loves Southern hospitality, I'm going to link that up to my account, where then I can click on this little envelope icon here, and then that plugs that blog, that most recent blog, to this email contacts page.
Yeah.
Then from here, I'm able to pull up those clients that are specific to that category.
Yes. And it's such a great way, when you've got to remember that your messaging is being put out there, so you can start building a relationship with your database, right, with your clients and potential clients. And as you're building this relationship, it's, you know, it's more than just the transaction part of it. It is about listening to what their interests are and what it is that makes them unique and who they are, and knowing that they're interested in gardening or Southern hospitality, or, you know, various sports, you know, and then really like get to know, like, I mean, I'm not a big, you know, sports fanatic, but I mean, I know some of the teams out there and some of the things that are happening in the news with Tom Brady and everything else, and everyone's got an opinion about him. And so you want to, and if you know that your database has an opinion on that, you can, you know, subscribe to like Fox Sports or whatever. I know that's what my husband watches. And so you can subscribe to that blog feed, that RSS feed, because that's what an RSS is just a blog.
Yeah.
And subscribe to that, because I wouldn't be able to send you anything about football. If I had to write the content about football, I mean, it would just be like one sentence. They use a brown kind of ovalish shaped ball and to play the game. And that's all I would be able to say about football. But if I send you a message, if I subscribe to this RSS feed and send you an interesting article about it, right, then I can just say, hey, I read this article and I thought of you and thought this would be interesting read for you to see, and then just send that along. And then you can start an email exchange back and forth between you and your and the group of people that are interested in football or whatever it is. You know, you might have to read the article so you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's just a great way to really reach out to somebody in just like a nice, polite manner of, hey, now, you know, and it shows that you've actually listened to them, you've heard them speaking, and know that what their interests are. So
Exactly. And I think a big part of it too, like a big part of like marketing, is making sure that you segment your audience, which I believe that's what you were talking about, is making sure you put them in those categories, is what we call it in Wise Agent. So then when you're ready to go out and send those marketing pieces, you can easily pull up those groups of clients that you know are interested in football, or whether it be like college football. I know Ohio is like a big state for college football. So that's something you might want to have your category in there for the people that you know are going to be interested in what's going on, you know, this season or whatever it may be. And then you're making that personal connection with your contacts, your leads, and you're building that trust with them. So that's a big part of your marketing, is that you want to make sure you're building that trust with your client base.
Right. People do business with people that they like and
Yeah.
that they know they like and they trust. And so when you are showing those qualities to them, right, you're showing that you know them, that you like them, then they're going to you're starting to build that trust with them. And then you're going to be, you are the expert, right? You are the expert and their advisor on, you know, buying and selling properties. You want to show that as well. So it's definitely a combination of building relationships and then showing your expertise. So like, I know this area because I live here and I do this, and that's when you can even show your area of expertise, even from when you're sending out like a monthly newsletter.
Yeah.
One of the things that I love, I have, you know, if you guys have watched this webinar series before, I always like to say little tidbits about myself. I'm originally from Chicago. Chicago's a big city, right? And there's always something to do. I have a friend there that's a realtor, and he would write a weekly newsletter, and he just would do it every week, and it would be customized to whatever was happening in the city, you know, that weekend. He would just pick, and there's a ton of things to do in the city. He would pick top 5 things to do around the city and send it out to everyone that lives there. And he included me because he knew in the summers I would go and visit, and then I would be able to plan what my weekends would be like when I was there. And that's just a great way of knowing, like, gosh, this person has their thumb on the pulse of what's happening here. They understand what's happening around the city and the different, you know, neighborhoods and all the activities. You want to be able to get that information out and provide value that provides value to your clients. And that's also something that you want to be doing in your marketing, is definitely providing value. Don't just talk or send an email just for the sake of sending an email and not have any substance behind it.
Definitely. And our newsletter feature is a great way of doing that as well. So underneath marketing, we also offer these newsletters and we create them for you each month. So right now for March, you're able to go in here and choose, either the English or Spanish version. We even have a Canadian version of the newsletter, just depending on what kind of special events are going on. You're able to print out your newsletter, or you can choose to email it out to your database. So the newsletter is just 3 different articles that we create for you. We love to incorporate a seasonal related article in there, so having to do with what's going on currently in the month of March. And then of course, we always include a recipe, and then an article that's real estate related. So again, you're creating content in there for your leads that are interesting for them to read, but then you're also providing them with a helpful piece of information. So top moving and packing hacks. So you're again providing your leads and your contacts information that they're going to find useful and helpful and then they're going to trust you. They're going to build that trust with you, of course.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one way of creating that content and sending it out to your clients.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love it. So once you've saved your newsletter, you're able to email this out to everyone in your database from our email program, and then be able to add other things to it. So you could add a featured property that you might have listed. That's one of the things that I love showing off, is being able to share that property in there. So you can just select your properties that you have listed, and then just go ahead and put that in there, and it'll append it to the bottom of the email. So then your email will would showcase this, and you can edit that, and you can add multiples in there.
Exactly.
But that's a great way of also, here's some value, and by the way, I've listed this property if you're interested.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so, some of the questions that we're getting, I was just going through some of these questions. And if you guys have any other questions right now, feel free to post those either in the chat or in their Q&A section, and we'll go through those. And I know Sarah has been doing a great job of sharing all the different links to different topics that we're talking about here as well. So one of the things is, I keep seeing the same question is like, how do I get creative with some of the content that you guys already have? And like what we said before is, you can go in there and change your fonts, you can change the color, the sizes, add images, add videos, add the call to action buttons. There's things that you can do to make it more interesting, but the biggest thing that you can do, and I'm going to share my screen, Camilla, if
Perfect.
that's okay. So one of the things that you can do, which I think is going to also help you with your open rate and your read rate as well, is when you are sending out an email, right here in the subject line, because this is something that the email servers are reading automatically. They're reading the subject line. And so if you are posting, if you're putting in here a placeholder with, let's say the first name, so you can put in the first name, like, so this would say Camilla, did you know, whatever, and I can put whatever the subject line is. Don't ever put the ellipses in a subject line. Don't ever put free, or, a ton of exclamation points. I think we even have a good blog that talks all about some of the things that you should not do in order when you're sending out emails, some of the things that you should avoid. But on the subject line, you should really make the subject line really compelling for them to read it. And what's more compelling than seeing their own first name in there? That's always a great thing as well for you to put in there. And then you can also put in the body of the email, you could, sporadically put their first name in there with the placeholders. So it doesn't just have to be in the salutation, like hello, first name, and then, 2 or 3 long paragraphs of information. You could put, have your the name of the person in the body of the message as well, and that will help you that will help keep it interesting. And also the email servers, when they go through and they scan all emails before delivery, because that's what does happen now, they'll see that those messages are different because, in the email that's going to Camilla, it's obviously going to have her name. When the email
Exactly.
is coming to me, it'll say Eleni, and to Sarah, it'll say Sarah, and so on and so forth. And so that does make it as a unique email. The content is unique, the subject is unique, and that will help you with your open rates and your deliverability rates as well. So that's one thing as far as keeping things a little bit more. And then it also help with the interest, right? Because as you're reading along, you're seeing your name, or your recipient is seeing their name. Okay. One of the questions that we're getting here, Camilla, is from Deb. She's asking, what's a good opt-in message? I know we've talked about that a little bit. I don't know if you wanted to take that one or.
Yeah, so you can customize your opt-in message in Wise Agent. So I'm going to go ahead and show you where you'll be able to go and do that. So right here, when you're in your accounts, you're just going to go up to the top where it says you could do it from this personalize your opt-in, and that's going to redirect you to the summary page where you can personalize that message that's being sent out. So it's definitely important that you come in here and you customize it to something in regards to what is the content that you'll be sharing with your leads and why are you asking them to opt in. So keep that in mind when you're creating your opt-in message. And of course, you can go in here and you're able to update what we already have in there. So we've already created a message that you could use, but you can come in here and change that based on what kind of content you'll be sending to your leads and why you're asking them to opt in to your emails that you'll be sending them.
Yeah,
Right here.
that was a great question, Deb, because I think that's one that's really important. You want to make sure that you are handling all your opt-ins. We handle all of your unsubscribes, all of your bounces, everything else. So that's something that's automatically done by us. And that way you don't have to worry about somebody that, unsubscribed. And if you're going to get in trouble for sending them another email, we prevent you from doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think also too, like another big part of your marketing, I think it has to do with the branding as well. Just making sure you come in there. And I know we talked a little bit about it in the beginning, but just making sure you come in here and you do personalize your email template, because this is like the frame of your emails that you're sending out through the system. And you do want to keep it consistent with any of the other like if you're, whatever signature line you may have, you want to include that in your Wise Agent account as well. And again, you want to include your links to your social media sites so people can connect with you on Facebook and on LinkedIn and on Instagram as well. And so they can also get to know you on a personal level. I know we talked about getting to know your leads on a personal level, but you also want them to get to know you as well on that personal level. So giving them that access is important as well.
Yeah, and there were some questions actually, Camilla, about what's a great way to get started with Wise Agent. And I see you on the profile page here, and I was like, okay, there's a couple of people that asked that question, like, how do I get started with all of this? And so that's something that we help you do.
Exactly.
Here internally. So we have a team that will help you get started and take you through and help you build your profile. And then help you build your email branding, and Camilla will show you the rest here that's happening.
Yeah. So our support staff, and that's the team that I manage here, they do such a great job with calling all of our new members and welcoming them to the platform. And then of course, scheduling them for that one-on-one onboarding session where you get a set time with one of our reps here to walk you through getting started in 3 easy steps. So that first step, like Eleni mentioned, is going to be setting up your profile page, which is going to include all of your account information, your agent photo, and your company logo. So making sure you get this information taken care of. I know it seems like, oh, it's, I don't really need to set up my profile, but it's a big step you don't want to miss, because this is where we pull all of your information for any of the marketing that you create within the platform. So getting your agent headshot in there, your logo, and then of course, filling out all of your account information. And then if you're working in a team, because we are team friendly, making sure you add in your team under those team member slots. And you can also include a headshot for each of your team members as well. then that next step with getting started, of course, is going to be getting your email branding created. So customizing your email signature and creating one for each of your team members through the platform, which we talked about. And we even have templates that you can choose from as well. So if maybe you're a new agent and you're like, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to use for my email signature line. Well, we got you, because we have some stock templates in here that you're able to use and you're able to customize here within the platform. And then, of course, that last step of getting started is getting your contacts added into the system. So whether that may be through the Google Sync, because we have a two-way sync with Google Contacts. We also have an importing tool. So if let's say you're migrating from a past CRM and coming over to Wise Agent, you're able to use our import tool to import any of your past leads into the system. And we even have an example spreadsheet for you to use, so you're not going into it blindly. Again, our support team is here to help you with getting started with your account and setting you up for success. So definitely taking advantage of when we call you. I know an Arizona number is giving you a call, but answer the phone, because one of our reps here are happy to walk you through getting your account set up for your success.
Absolutely. And even so, there is a great question here from Jacqueline's asking, what if you've been a member for a long time but not really utilized it like you should? Can your support help me as well? And absolutely, Jacqueline, you can give our support a call and we can help you and like audit your what you have done and kind of go back and like if we need to help you fill in some of the blanks in the profile or the email branding, we can help anyone at any stage. So it doesn't matter if you just got started with Wise Agent or you've been with us for a little bit of time and maybe haven't been utilizing it. And this is your year that you're going to start using a CRM. We've got you. We will help you go through that and give you, make an assessment for you and give you, kind of help you with those steps that you need to complete.
Yes.
Yeah, because even importing contacts. So if you are not using the two-way Google Sync, which I'm absolutely a huge fan of, because I have my phone with me all the time and I meet people randomly out and about and I get their contact records or their contact card shared to me to my device. And really it goes straight into my Google account. And then as soon as I go to my Wise Agent account, I log in for the day, that will sync and that will just add that person into my Wise Agent. Now I can start, my notes, my note taking and everything else from there and anything else that I need to be doing.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Definitely. And there was some other questions in there about, the opt-in. There was a follow-up on the opt-in, which was, how do I, is there any other ways besides just having that message in there? And I know our marketing team, Sarah and her team, created a landing page and that you can utilize to have people opt into your emails. So you can have them, and I'm going to share my screen, Camilla, so we're not both like fighting for screen time.
Okay.
So if I go to, where am I going? If I need these. So if I go to marketing and I go to landing pages, we have a whole bunch of templates here that you can utilize to for various reasons, right? So if you want to have an open house, I know a couple of weeks ago I had a webinar talking specifically about creating the perfect open house and the open house plan. You can use one of these two templates. We've got several templates for open houses, all sorts of different things. But we also have this newsletter opt-in, and really all you have to do is click on this create button and then you can edit what the template looks like. So you can put pictures in of, obviously it wouldn't be this person, you would put in your image here, your logo here, you would edit this. And basically you're just saying, hey, subscribe to my monthly newsletters or subscribe to my emails. And you want to give them that ability to fill out this form and submit it. And once they do submit this form, it could also be edited to include their mobile number, right? In case you don't have their phone number and even their physical address. It's a great way of, one, getting them to subscribe to your emails and opt it in. Two, it's a great way to fill in the blanks for any missing information that you may have. So maybe you don't have a phone number, maybe you don't have an email, and then or a physical address. a mailing address, you can have those blanks filled in, and you can ask other questions like, what's your birth date? What's your favorite color, your favorite beverage, or whatever it is that you want. You can have that filled out as well.
Yeah.
I know there's one here, like, help me to get to know you. And so I know we use this here internally because I love getting to know our staff too. So when we have new employees coming on, I, send them a link to a form like this so we can get to know them. And, it's a great way to build relationships. It's, again, another relationship building tool and technique. And it's something that you would be able to be able to give out to your clients and potential clients so you can best serve them.
Yeah. And I think it helps you with being able to segment your audience. So like when you're putting in like favorite sports or like favorite teams, then you'll know like, okay, these group of clients love soccer, they like football or basketball, whatever it may be. And then you're sending content to them that they're going to engage in. Because I know we got questions of like, how do we get people to opt in, or why is it that some people are opted in and some people aren't? And it has to do with the type of, marketing you're sending to them. What kind of emails are you sending out to your leads? Are they wanting to open these emails? So making sure you mix it up between real estate related content and then that personalized marketing where it's geared towards what they like and what they're interested in, and sharing that information, because that's going to have them open your emails, and personalizing it, like you said, Eleni, including that that name placeholder in the subject line, and including their name in the email, because it says, oh, this is addressed to me, I'm going to open it, I want to see what this is about.
Right. Because, for example, if Camilla sent me an email about, football and football article that she read and thought that I would enjoy, that couldn't fall any more flat for somebody like me, right? I would just be like, I don't know why she's sending this to me. She clearly knows nothing about me, right? And I wouldn't read it. I would delete it. I might even just say like, what is this? This is junk, and then unsubscribe from her emails. And that's not what you want. You don't want to give that impression. You don't want to give the impression that you don't know your clients and potential clients. But if she sends me an email about gardening, which I enjoy, and it is gardening season here in Arizona, and so I will read that message 100% of the time. I might not read it the second she sends it to me. I might not even reply to it. But what happens is I will read it, even if it is at 11 o'clock at night. And if it's that interesting and compelling, and maybe I keep getting these, I can, go ahead and I would send it to my friends that are also into gardening.
Yeah.
And what then happens is it stays with her email branding is on there. And so then when my friends get it, they have Camilla's branding on there, and they can see like, oh, wait, there's a realtor here. Hold on. And Eleni knows them. Well, maybe I need to reach out to them because I was actually thinking about buying a house because I need more garden space, right? And so now you open up to your potential reach. You open up your reach as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that is something that it's a great relationship builder. It's a great way of getting your read rate and your response rate higher as well.
Definitely. And
so I know, someone was saying that they love the whole opt-in with the landing page because sometimes you don't have a complete database, right? There's a lot of gaps that we have, right? Maybe we know a first name and an email and a phone number. Well, sometimes, you can, there's things that you can do, go out there and find them on social media or whatnot. But if you have an email address, and I'm going to share my screen here one more time. You can actually go in and just scrape social media to find out a little bit more about the person. And it really doesn't require much. And I'm going to just see if I have anyone in here because I usually do. Here we go. And so basically all you need is an email address. And what we'll do is scrape social media for you and find out whatever we can, including an image, a company name, their title, the city, if that's public information. And when I go to this lead enhancement, now I can see their LinkedIn profile. I can see their Twitter account. I can go to this about me. I can see all of that information, again, about building that relationship. Like when this lead, potential client came to me, I didn't know who they were. I just got a first name and an email address, and Wise Agent filled in the rest of the blanks for me. And what it does is if there is a LinkedIn account, I can see their profile. And so their LinkedIn bio. Oh, I guess this one's had a lot of notes in here. Here it is. So I can come in and see their LinkedIn profile, and I can see what their title is and what's happening. Oh, okay. Well, they were, they live in Sacramento. Well, I'm in Phoenix. Why are they coming here? Well, they just posted they're moving for promotion or whatever it is. And now I have some kind of something to go off of when I'm starting to build that relationship.
And it gives you like talking points too. So now when you pick up the phone and you reach out to that lead, you congratulate them about their new promotion, and it helps you, gives you ideas of how you can engage with these leads. So definitely that's that piece is really helpful to the lead enhancement feature within the platform.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, because it'll give you those talking points, and it will just really help you just start the conversation and start that relationship. And now if it is that they're coming in from out of state or out of your area, you can provide that value of, well, I'm the expert in this area that you're looking to move to. And now you know what value to provide to them. And that's really ultimately what everyone wants. I mean, everyone wants that the ultimate service experience. They want to be served really well. So that's something that that you definitely can be leveraging from Wise Agent as well.
Yes.
Camilla, there's also a few questions about, how do you, when you are doing lead generation, so if they're maybe buying, clients or buying leads, potential clients from, any of the portals, or maybe they have their website set up to have like a contact form, or maybe even using our landing pages. Could you show the lead rules and how they could automatically add them to a drip campaign and everything else?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So over here, let me go ahead and share my screen. I think, are you still sharing your screen or?
I don't think so.
Okay, there we
No.
go. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So over here under the contacts drop down menu is our lead rules page. So that's where you can set up your automated lead management for any of the lead sources that we integrate with. So we have a list of all the different lead sources that we integrate with, that we work with to pull your leads into the system. And if you click on any of the options here, you'll get written instructions of how you can connect that to Wise Agent. So once you get your integrated lead sources connected with Wise Agent, so whether that be your Facebook ads that you're running, or if it's the landing pages that you're using, and you have leads coming into the system, you'll be able to come up here to the top to add a rule for that lead source. So the lead for rules is basically you're telling the system, based on this source that the lead is coming in from, I want the system to perform X, Y, and Z action. So over here where it says edit rule, this is where you would go to select your lead source. So where your leads coming in from. So let's say I have that seller Facebook landing page that I have my leads coming in from. I want the system to add anyone that comes in under this source to a seller drip campaign, or maybe my 10-day conversion plan, because I've gone in there and I've customized it and I've geared it towards any seller leads that I'm getting. So then I'm going to add that 10-day conversion plan here. Now, new leads automatically go onto the call list feature, and the call list feature is a great way of getting in contact with new contacts that have been added into your database, or if you're wanting to schedule up those follow-up calls. So already the system is going to add those new leads from that source to your call list for you, letting you know that these are hot leads that need to be reached out to right away. Now, they'll already be tagged when that lead comes into the system. They'll already be tagged with the source that they came in from. But over here, you can add additional categories, so additional grouping. So if I do want to add them to a seller category, I can add that here. If I know that I want all of my seller leads from my Facebook ad to be added to my monthly newsletter, I'm going to add that as a category as well. So then when it's time to send out my monthly newsletter, I'm able to pull up that monthly newsletter group, and it will include any of these leads coming from this source. You're able to include an automated email response. So right right away, I can tell the system that as soon as this lead comes into the system, I want an automated email response to go out to these new leads, and I want it to say this message. So we already have that custom message in there for you, but you're able to go in there and personalize it. And you can also include a video. So again, I keep bringing up videos, but I love watching videos. I prefer it sometimes, is seeing someone's personality, their facial reaction to things. So definitely, if you're not using video marketing yet, it's something to add as well. So you'll be able to include that in your email response, or you could also choose our content. So we do have content available for you. And I think the content piece goes great, especially if you're using one of our lead magnet landing pages. So Eleni did showcase, our opt-in landing page. We do also have this lead magnet landing page, which basically is you're asking, your leads, potential leads, for their information in return for something. So the return that you're giving them for giving you their information is a seller's guide. So right here in that lead rules page, you're able to include that seller's guide because we have it in our email templates. Under the infographics section here, you're able to pull up that seller's guide. So the 5 mistakes sellers make, you're able to click that here, and then that plugs that into your email response. So again, we're giving you that content already for you to use. You can also incorporate text response in there as well. Another way of reaching your new leads is through text message, and you can set that up in your automated lead rules here. And you can also include a video or an image response with that.
Okay.
Yes, we do have that AI bot. So if you're a Wise Agent member and you're not taking advantage of this feature, definitely taking the time to read our article, our blog post about the AI bots and how that works. But you're able to choose your target audience. So I know this is my sellers landing page. So I want my AI bot to engage with the new leads that come in as a seller. So you're even able to select your target audience of who you want your AI bot to engage with. Now we want to make sure that you're not missing any new leads. So you'll get notified via text and via email anytime a new lead gets entered into the system. And if you're working in a team, you're able to distribute your leads to your team. So right here, you're able to do a round robin across your team, or you can add specific filters. So you can choose day of the week or by zip code or even by price range to distribute leads to your team within the system. So again, the automated lead rules feature, just a great way for you to automate your business through the system, where you're making sure that those new leads that you're getting into the system are being touched right away, whether it be an email or a text message, or if it's going to be a call because you're adding them to your call list. And of course, you're already adding them to that follow-up plan by including a drip campaign here for your lead rules.
Yeah. Well, and I want to pick it up right there because we did have a question here from Raymond saying, how do I know when it's time to recontact my client? And so do I receive a notification? Like what happens? That's a great question because that's something that really we've made it really simple for you to be able to, send that reminder to yourself and do that. So let me share my screen here. Which screen do I want to share? Here we go. All right, so I'm going to go to Michael Phelps here. So once I am in my contact record, and we have a couple of different options for you. So when you're talking to somebody, you could either use our call list, which that's one of our most widely popular features of Wise Agent, is making sure would be Raymond, the way where you would make sure that when you're adding them to your call list, this is where you come back to and add people here. So this is who you need to be reaching out to, and you can add them saying, I want to add Michael Phelps or whoever to this. Once I add Michael Phelps to here, it'll tell me what date that I want to contact them on. If I want to add a time, if I do add the time, then I can even add it to my calendar to make sure that I block off that time. There are people out there that say like, hey, can you talk at 10 a.m. on Tuesday? They want to call at that time, right? And you don't want to miss that. And then you can also categorize your calls by type. So, and this is something that you have control over of what your call types are. Is it a follow-up? Is it regarding a listing, regarding buying, whatever it is, you could add your types in here. And then you put in your reason for contact. Now, this is where the notification comes into place, that you can also set that notification to make sure that you don't forget that 10 a.m. call. So you can come in here and say, I need to reach them out by this time, and then I want to get a text message sent to me or an email or whatever it is, that notification, so I don't forget that reminder. The other thing that we've done for you is when you are adding a note to your contact record. So let's say maybe your phone rang and they just happened to call you, you get your notes put in here. So I can type in all my notes, and then I can have the option to set up my follow-up right here. So it's not required, but we strongly recommend it and strongly suggest that you do this to say, after your call, you've done, you've talked about X, Y, and Z, and you put all your notes in here, so you can track that. And then you can again set your next contact date and set your alert or your reminder to go ahead and send you that text or that email, remind you to make that phone call. So that is a really important thing. It's not just about, when you initially call them or, have them come into Wise Agent, but it's also that follow-up that you need to make sure that you are following through with them. And I know, Camilla, there's also the statuses, like I use the statuses, like who am I actively working with? You want to make sure there's somebody that maybe is under contract. So maybe I need to just make sure that this is something that I kind of keep an eye out, but it doesn't need, or maybe this is way more priority, right? Because they're under contract and I want to make sure that they end up closing on that transaction. So you could use our statuses for that, as well as the ranking, for you to go back to see who it is that you're working with and who you need to stay in contact with.
Exactly. And even like the important dates that we're tracking, and it was up there at the top of the summary page for like the last contact date and the last update. So we track all of that in the system for you, and you're able to search for that on the contact list. So if you wanted to pull up a group of clients that you haven't contacted in an within a time period, you're able to easily do that.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely. So I know we're coming up on time. Oh my gosh, I can't believe an hour has gone by already, Camilla. We talked to 10. And so one of the questions here is that we gave you guys a lot of information, but does Wise Agent have live training? I'm a hands-on learner. And Angela, yes, we do have live training, and I hope Sarah will post that. We have a couple of different options for you. So if you want to watch YouTube videos, maybe you want to do this at 2 a.m. And just watch a bunch of videos, you can do that. I know people do that. But if you want to have your hands held through somebody and walking you through some of the training, we also have that option. You can you can send us an email at help@wiseagent.com, and we can set up that one-on-one training for you. We have the online classes for you to attend as well. So I'm going to share my screen here. So we have all of these help options here, our knowledge base where you can just search a keyword. We have our complete video tutorial here. You can click on, and then our online class schedule. So we have these are all live classes that are about an hour long, and they go through specific topics. So and we've broken it down because there's a lot of marketing topics. And so breaking it down into 1 hour, as you can see, that would not work as far as training. So we've broken it down for you to how to create a newsletter and a flyer, or if you wanted to learn about letters and drip campaigns or transaction management, or just a general overview of everything that Wise Agent can do, or how to send emails and text messages. It's all broken down for you, and you can register for those or watch the on-demand version of it. So those are all of our classes and all of our support. Again, Sarah will be posting how to get to those classes that are the recorded classes that we could go to on our own time. Yes. So if you go to the on-demand, you can register for these here. So it's just the same class, just wiseagent.com/classes. Sarah has posted that here for you. I'll repost it for everyone to see. Oops. And that would be your opportunity to to go through that. But we also have our phone number and email that you can be sending us any kind of messages. And Camilla and her team are fabulous. They help everyone out on everything.
Awesome.
All right.
Yes.
All righty. So Camilla, any final words from you that you wanted to?
No, definitely. Thank you for having me. It's always great joining on these webinars and being able to share with the agents, you know, some tips and some tricks of how to best utilize Wise Agent and how to be successful with our platform. So thank you again for having me.
Well, thanks for being on, Camilla, and sharing all of your wisdom with everyone here. And thank you, everyone. I will be out of the office. I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to Birmingham, Alabama later on this week, and I will be there with a brokerage. And then next week, I will actually be in Ohio. I'm flying into Columbus. I'll be in Columbus for a couple of days, and I'll be driving down to Dayton as well. So I'm excited to be in Ohio. If you guys, want to reach out with any questions and set up an in-person meeting while I'm there, I'm happy to do that as well. So you can reach out to our staff and we can kind of coordinate that as well. I think I have like a half day open, but yeah, so we can work that out as well. So I hope to see you all in a couple of weeks. April 30th, on Wednesday, April 30th, I will be back on at 10 a.m. with my dear friend Joseph from Productive, and we're going to be talking about the Productive app and our integration. So that'll be a great one. I hope you guys can join that as well. All right. Thanks, Camilla. Thanks for sharing with us.
Thank you.
All
Thanks
right.
for having me.
All right. And thank you, everyone. Take care. Have a good week.